Okay. So here's our new problem. We are going to take 4,722 divided by 22. The way that I do that is I need to figure out what an easier number to work with than 22. I'm going to make a compatible numbers bar right there. Okay. So 22, if I estimate that, that's going to be 20. So I'm going to go do 20s again. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and I could keep going if I need to, okay? And if I don't understand counting by 20s, remember I can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then add that 0 on for the 20. All right, so here we go. 22 does not go into 4. So 22 doesn't go into 4. But again, if we made this 20, our compatible number is going to be 20. 20 will go into 47 if we were thinking 20, 40. Okay, if I went another one, it would bust. It'd be too big. So I'm going to go with 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times this 2 is 4. So 22 times 2 would be 44. Oh, so I forgot this step. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. I divided, I multiplied, and now I need to subtract. So 47 minus 44, 7 minus 4 is 3, and 4 minus 4 is 0 if I want to put that 0 there. So I subtracted, and my next step is to bring down this 2. So now I have 32, okay? So again, I have 22 divided by 30, it goes into 32. Well, if it's 20, that's 1. If I go 2, it busts. So I know that it goes in 1 time. 1 times 22 is 22. So I brought the number down. I divided. I multiplied. Now I need to subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. Then I'm going to bring down this other number. And again, there's my wall. I can't stop because I don't have a digit there. So I bring down this 2. Okay. 22 into 102. Well, if it was 20, it would go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. But remember, this is a little bit bigger than our real number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it goes in 5 times or a little bit less. So if we tried 5 times 22, well, 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1. That would give me 11. That'd be 110. That's too big, isn't it? So I know that I need to go down, and this would be a 4. So then 4 times 22. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times the other 2 is 8. Okay? So I've divided. So I brought down, I divided, I multiplied. Now I need to subtract. So 102 minus 88. Well, I can't take 8 from 2. So I come over here and I borrow, but I don't have anything. I borrow, this is 0. This is 9. This would be 12. 12 minus 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that gives me 4. 9 minus 8 gives me 1. So I would have, again, I'm already at my wall. And I have a number down here. So this is remainder 14. Okay, very good. So it's finding those compatible numbers to make it easy to get a starting point. Okay, I'm going to start another one for you. So I'm going to start by putting my rule DMSB. I know that I'm dividing by 47, but that's a hard number. So I want a compatible number. A C number, a compatible number. So what's a number close to 47, a good estimate that would be easy to think of in your head? Okay, let's try 50. So I'm going to make my little box of compatible numbers, and I'm going to go 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Okay, move up just a little bit. Or actually, I'm going to move over. So 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500. And I don't have to go on forever. I'm just giving myself some work, okay? Some numbers to make it easy. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, okay? So now again, I've got to divide. Does 47 go into 3? No, so I've got to put an X on top of it. Does 47 go into 34? No, so I've got to come over again. Does 47 go into 347? Well, again, if this is 50, I go 50, 100, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them will get me 350. That's a little bit over this number, but we rounded up. So let's try 7. It gives me a good starting number. So we know it's either 7 or 6. Well, I don't know what 47 times 7 is, but I do know that 7 times 7 is 49. So I'm going to put the 9 and carry the 4 right up here. And then 7 times 4, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So add that 4 up there, so that gives me 32. Okay, so I have divided and I've multiplied. Now I need to subtract. Okay. So can I take 9 away from 7? No. So I'm going to go to this 4 right here and borrow. This is going to become a 3. This is going to become 17. So this is going to give me 8. 17 minus 9 would give me 8. 3 minus 2 is going to give me 1. And then the 3 minus 3 is 0 there. Okay. I'm going to flip this out of the way. So then I've got to, so I've subtracted. Now I've got to bring down that 8. Okay. So I brought down, and then I've got to go back and start over at the divide. So it's divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then repeat. So go back to divide. So does 47, I can mark this off, does 47 go into 188? Well, again, if it's 50, I go 50, 100, 150, 200. 200 is too big. So back up to 150, and it'll go 1, 2, 3 times. So let's try 3. I don't know what 47 times 3 is, but I know 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus that 2, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And if I subtract right here, so I multiply and then I've got to subtract. 8 minus 1 is 7. 8 minus 4 is 4. There's a problem here. If my number that I get left over is the same or bigger than this, that means it would have went in at another time. So I've got to back up. I can't have 47 remainders when I'm dividing by 47. That's another hole in there. So I'm going to erase this 3, and it really should have went into it 4 times. And 4 times 7, so then I'm going to erase just this line when I multiplied. So 4 times 7 is 28. Carry that 2. 4 times 4, 16, 17, 18. So then now when I subtract, I get 8 minus 8 is 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I have zeros. So I have no remainder. I'm at the wall, and my answer is 74. Okay? So remember, if you subtract and your answer is bigger than what you're dividing by or equal to what you're dividing by, then you need to put another hole up there. Very good. Okay, so at this point, I want to try 3 more problems, but I want you to work them with me. Okay, so I'm going to erase the board so we have plenty of room. I'm going to want you to work these 3 problems with me. So over here, I want you to write out the problem. 832 divided by 32. Okay, let's put down here, right here, the, actually probably a better place for it is up top. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So our hints, our steps. Over here, I want you to put your real number you're dividing by and give me a good estimate or a compatible number. I'm going to give you just a second to think of that compatible number. So what is 32 really close to that is easier to think of in your head? Okay, so if you picked 30, that is great. Absolutely great job. Okay, so now we are going to make a compatible box of numbers where we are repeat or counting by 30s. So I may not know how to count by 30s, but I absolutely know how to count by 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Well, if I just add that 0 on there, just like that, I've now counted by 30s. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Okay? So you just add that 0 on, count by 3s, and then add that 0 on to now have compatible numbers. So 130, 2 30s, 3 30s, 4 30s, 5 30s. Okay, because 30 times 5 would give me 150. So now I'm going to start my division problem using this information. I know that this is 32, but I want to think of it like 30. Well, 30, 60, 90. This would be 3 of them, but that would be too big. So I'm going to start and see about, I know 32 doesn't go into 8, but 32 goes into 83. Well, 1, 2, oh, I busted, so I got to back up. So it'll go into it 2. Okay, so I divided. Now I need you to multiply. So if you need to pause this to multiply your 32 times 2, maybe that's too difficult, so you may need to do the 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 2 times 3, which is 6. So I've multiplied. Now I need to subtract. I can't take 4 away from 3, so I borrow. This 8 becomes a 7, and this becomes a 13. So 13 minus 4 is going to give me 9. 7 minus 6 is going to give me 1. So I subtracted. Now I need to bring down the 2. Okay? So I'm back trying to figure out how many times 32 will go into 192. Well, I have these numbers over here, but 150, I didn't really go far enough, did I? So I need to add another 30. So after I went 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, and add another 0, move up just a little bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to try 6 of them. So now I've brought down, I divided, now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 32. I don't know that, but I know 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus the 1 is 19. I multiplied. Now I've got to subtract. 192 minus 192 would give me 0. There's nothing else to bring down, and I'm at that wall that Miss Webster's talked about, and I have a 0. So my answer is 26. Okay, so we are going to create compatible numbers to divide those. Okay, our next one that I want you to work is 1,625 divided by 65. This is a really hard one, okay? So again, DMSB, this will be our last one. Compatible number, my real number is 65. I'm going to make that compatible to, what is it really close to? What's a good estimate? Well, 7 or 70, right? 70 is, but that might be a little bit hard to think of. If you went to 50 though, that would be too low. Okay, so I want you, let's go ahead and try 70 here. Make our compatible number box. So I'm counting by 7s. So I know 7, 14, 21, okay? And then I know I've got to add that 0 on there. 70, 140, 210, all right? So if this was a 70, does 65 go into 1? No. The 65 going to 16? No. The 65 going to 162? Yes. So if it was 70, so a little bit bigger, it would go in 1, 2 times. So let's try 2, okay? So 2 times 5, well, we're doing 2 times 65, but that's kind of hard. So let's start with 2 times 5, so I divided. 2 times 5 is 10. Put the 0, carry the 1 over here. 2 times 6 is 12, plus the 1 is 13. Now I need to subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay, now I'm going to bring down the 5. Okay, and I have 210 over here, but now I've got to get to 325. So 21, I'm going to turn this just a little bit. You're not going to be able to see my DMSB a little bit. So I've got 7, 14, 21, and I know it's 28. So I add the 0, so 280. Let me put some over here so you can still see them. So 28, and if I add another 7, well, here I know 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, and if I add the 0, so 350. So I busted. So I know that that 280 is going to be a good starting point for me, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it might be 5, but I'm going to start with 4. And I've done with that number, so I'm going to mark it off. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry the 2. 4 times 6, what is it? 24 plus the 2, 24, 25, 26. Okay? So if I subtract, 5 minus 0 is 5. And I can borrow or I can count up 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that would leave me with 6. Here's a problem. I have 65 here and I have 65 here. If this number is even or equal to this number, I've got to go back and make a change. So this 4, it'll go into it another time, won't it? I can get another group of 65. So now I need to back up just a little bit right here. And 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 2 is 32. I subtract and I'm left with 0. I'm at the wall. So it's 25 is my answer. So here, this again gives us a good starting point of to know if I'm close or far away. All right. So I'm going to erase this. And the last thing I want you to just do for me real quick is I'm going to just write some numbers down and I want you to tell me a compatible number. 9. What's a good estimate or a good compatible number? Very good. 10. So if I have 13, what would be a good compatible number? 10. Say it out loud to yourself so you can check and see if we're picking the same one. 17. What would be a good compatible number to start with? Okay, 20. Very good. What about 26? What would be a good compatible number? I would probably say 25 right here because we can count by quarters. Okay, and so on and so on. Let me get some bigger, higher numbers. So if I said 43, a good compatible number would probably be 40, right? Or if I said 58, a good compatible number there would probably be 60. Because I can do by 60s. I can count by 6s. Okay? Very good. All right. I hope that this helps a little bit. We will continue dividing by 2-digit divisors tomorrow. And I wish you luck. Thank you so much for watching the video. Here is your question that you need to be able to answer tomorrow to tell me that you watched it. I would like you to tell me what color and what word I write. Oh, not with that one. Let's see. Tell Miss Webster what word I write right now. So that is going to be your answer for tomorrow. Have a great night.